Have you ever thought about a map that doesn't just show you roads, but tells stories billions of years old? Well, that's exactly what a geologic map is. It's less like a GPS and more like a treasure map to our planet's hidden history, and believe it or not, even its future. So let's get into it. Okay, but that begs a huge question, right? How in the world do we map something that's hidden deep underground? I mean, we can't just see through the ground. It seems impossible. But geologists have this super clever way of figuring it all out, just by reading clues they find right on the surface. So what's their secret? Well, it all comes down to a kind of secret code. Yeah, a special language they use to describe how rock layers are tilted and pointing. And once you crack this code, you can start to see these massive, invisible structures that are just waiting to be found. All right, the first piece of the code is a word called strike. Just picture a tilted layer of rock. The strike is just the compass direction of a perfectly flat line you could draw on it. The house roof analogy here is awesome, really. Think of the very peak of a roof, the ridge line. The direction that ridge is pointing, that's the strike. And the second part, that's called the dip. Dip actually gives you two pieces of info, how steep the tilt is and which way it's tilting. So if we go back to our house roof, the dip angle is just how steep the roof is. And the dip direction? Well, that's easy. It's the direction a ball would roll down if you put it on the roof. Now here's the really brilliant part. Geologists combine all of that, strike and dip, into one simple little symbol. The long bar shows you the strike direction. That little tick mark perpendicular to it, that points in the dip direction. And the number next to it tells you the angle of the dip. So you're packing three-dimensional information onto a totally flat, two-dimensional map. How cool is that? So one of these symbols is interesting, but what happens when you start plotting hundreds, even thousands of them all over a map? Well, that's when the magic happens. All these little individual clues start connecting, and this huge picture starts to emerge. The map literally starts revealing these incredible, giant structures hidden just under our feet. And this is what they find. Look at this. When you see a pattern where the dip symbols all point away from a central line, you've found a massive arch-like fold called an anticline. That's where the oldest rocks get pushed up towards the middle. And the opposite is true too. When the symbols all point toward each other, you've got a syncline, which is like a trough-shaped fold, and it holds the youngest rocks right there in its center. Okay, this is all super fascinating stuff, right? But here's why it's also incredibly important for every single one of us. This isn't just some academic exercise about old rocks. No, decoding this map is really about predicting our future and, honestly, building a much safer world. I mean, think about it. This geological blueprint, it helps us find valuable resources like minerals and water. It guides engineers on where it's safe to build huge things like tunnels and dams. And this is a big one. It helps us assess the risk of natural hazards, things like landslides. It's absolutely fundamental to building a more resilient future for everyone. So there you have it. From just a few simple little marks on a map, we can read the Earth's ancient past to help us build a better, safer future. And it kind of makes you think, doesn't it? What incredible story, what geologic blueprint is hidden right under your feet at this very moment?
Subscribe for more.